Hello there guys, it's Metro, and today we're taking a look at possibly the worst 5-man dungeon group ever assembled. This is a really interesting video, and I'm really happy that I was able to catch this one on screen. A lot of people have been saying to me recently, oh, you must not have healed Mythics. Like, basically the topic was that, like, oh, I'm telling people to do all this damage as a healer and all these things as a damage dealer and all this stuff. And I'm like, have you done Mythics? Because none of this is possible. And it's like, yeah, I have done Mythics. In fact, the videos that you've been watching are Mythic. So it's weird to me to hear people say that. Well, I found out today why people are saying that. So we're just getting started here. This first piece of trash here is just an example. First of all, to be honest, I did not know these mobs healed. So as you see, these fucking mobs are all at full health. Oh boy. So I didn't know they healed. I mean, so it's partially my fault. But I mean, I pull like this all the time. So yeah, in this video, you're going to see me try to stretch my DK to the limits. This is one of the first real Mythic 5-mans I've done as my DK. I've completed a few, but yeah, this is obviously, the first one where he's like appropriately geared and I'm ready to start playing the game. So I'm going to show you this boss here. All right, the rogue in this 5-man is not going to be in this dungeon for much longer. But you're going to see why I'm talking about this. So watch that. So there you go. That guy gets hit by that. A giant, massive frontal cone AoE. Then he dies to the subsequent damage there. Yeah, we have a lot of trouble with this boss. We went to this boss about 8 times. All 8 of them were with this group here. And then here, I think, yeah, the rogue is going to die. And I don't really know, because the thing that really baffles me here is how obvious. Look at that. Like, that guy died to that mechanic like every single pull. And I just don't understand it. I really don't. Like, I hate to sound like an elitist. I'm sure people are already hearing that from what I'm saying right now. But it's just like, and then I take the time to type there because it's like, what the fuck is going on here? How are people dying to that? So I guess I could drag him over to the side. I recognize that fact. I could do other things to help them, mitigate that a little bit. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't look at it as necessary, It's a giant purple, like, cleave. How hard is it to just move out? I don't know. I really don't. But obviously, it's very difficult. So, yeah, throughout this video, you're going to see some really funny and odd things done and said by the people in this dungeon. And that's kind of where it starts right there. The first pull, I take full responsibility for that. I did not know that they could be interrupted. I did not know they healed like that, first of all. I had no idea, actually. I don't know if they just don't do it on heroic, or I guess the damage difference is that crazy. So, but yeah, this fight is not. I feel like this is the easiest fight in all 5-mans. I don't know. Maybe the druid boss in the first boss in Darkheart Thicket is easier, but this is just a joke boss. He's got like 2 mechanics, and one of them is like it's not actually a mechanic. You just move. You don't be in front of the boss. But here I make a stupid mistake, and then of course. There's no coming back from that. We might have actually been able to kill that if I didn't if I didn't make that hit the entire room there. But as you see, I'm basically soloing the boss. So this is like already got my interest peaked now that I'm geared on this character a bit. I'm like 834 maybe, something like that. I'm already getting interested in trying to solo heroics. If you guys watched the channel a bit, you would have seen I soloed a bunch of normals on the beta. And since then, blood DK has kind of gone up and down. But the difference now is my DK is way more prepared. When I did that on the beta, the character I was using was it was a joke. It didn't have the 3rd relic slot. So when I have that, it's going to be crazy. I don't have that either on live, but I didn't have the right golden trait. I didn't have the right anything, basically. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to trying to solo dungeons here. I'm going to be probably doing that on the channel here very shortly this coming week. We'll see what happens with Mythic Plus. Since they're only 850, I don't know if I'm even going to really put too much time into it this week. And I have a really busy week coming up. But anyway, so as you see, this guy's like, hey, should we kick this healer? I got a really good healer. It's like, dude, we're fucking wiping here because you're getting hit by a frontal. Like, you're getting one-shot by a mechanic that should not even hit anybody. So, like, he actually kicks the healer, who, if you ask me up until this point, was probably the best player in the group, right? So it's whatever, man. So this warlock, I mean, dude, let's put it in, I said this to Syiler the other night. I should have fucking known. I should have fucking known when the group leader was an Affliction warlock. Okay, now let's not trigger any fucking warlocks again in this video here, but man, yeah. Anyway, so we got a new group, kind of. We got a warrior now and a disciplined priest who's not too bad, I guess. Does some damage, so that's always helpful. But yeah, the warrior actually knows how to play the video game. I am no longer the top damage, so that is a fucking spectacular thing to see. I even pulled the boss a little bit over to like the 3/4 mark, so there's not that shit there. But of course, the people are dropping the whatever that fear patch is directly behind the boss, so it's very difficult to get out of that like as a tank. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. So yeah, the warlock's actually doing decent damage here. So we have at this point arms warrior, enhancement shaman, affliction warlock, and a disciplined priest. So you can see the spread. You know, I guess there's nothing wrong with like I said, I really do not believe the complaints about warlocks. I don't really understand it. That's why another reason why I wanted to show this, because despite how retarded, I mean, this guy's straight up retarded. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I hate to say that, but this guy is actually stupid. He's not intelligent. So, or at least he's not within the confines of the video game. But anyway, so yeah, this is a really cool, another really cool thing that I want to show you guys. These ads gave us fits as well. We wiped, like every time we wiped on this basically was because we couldn't kill the ads. So watch this here. Look at that fucking grip 4 of a man. That's so high value. So we actually, I saved that because 2 of them were right about to hit. And that's just, you know, kind of, it's a well coordinated mechanic, but I did not do that on purpose. I did not expect to grip those all the way to that were like right up against the boss. So yeah, we basically get none. He does not absorb any souls, and that's that. So it can actually kill the boss. Like the first 3 wipes were, the rogue dies every single time, and the first one, we literally killed 0 ads. He got fucking 8 or whatever it is, like whatever the max is. And it just, I fucking put AMS up and I still died from it. So yeah, you're not going to survive that. You got to, I was hoping that it would get to a point where you can just ignore them and kill the boss. But I don't think that's going to happen on Mythic, even with like maybe with like a super geared group. The thing is, everybody has the propensity to pop their CDs on the pull. But on this fight, you really don't benefit from that, because at 50%, he does that mechanic. So at 50%, that would be when you would want to pop everything. So now we're back with trash. And once again, you know, the way I look at it, trash is the most important part of the dungeon. I always try to maximize our trash pulls. As you see here, I'm doing a lot of damage because I'm coordinating my mechanics or my CDs properly. But this trash is doing like a surprising amount of damage. I don't actually know what's causing it here at some points, but the facts are that we have 2 dudes doing like just absurdly low DPS. Like there's absolutely no, we got what is it, 6 mobs here? We got 6 mobs here, guys. Like what the fuck is this? How are you doing 100k DPS? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. I don't, like, this is the big issue I have with people doing dungeons right now. Like the amount of times I've seen people say, oh, I'm not going to use, in fact, the guy does say it, but I don't think I actually included it in the video because it was at a weird time where we were AFK. The guy's like, dude, I'm not going to use CDs on trash. That's try hard or some shit like that. It's like, so this is an hour and 10-minute recording. So, I mean, that puts it in perspective, right? I mean, if the dude just used CDs on trash, it could have been, you know, we could have cut at least 20 minutes off this. The amount of times we die to trash, like, look at how long this is taking. This is absurd. I'm doing the top damage, and, you know, the warrior's dead, but it's like, if people just use their freaking CDs, if people knew how to play in dungeons, and, you know, I'm talking about healers too, you know, like if healers could do good damage and damage dealers could do good AoE and they knew how to use their CDs on trash, like I'm telling you, I'm using rune weapon on every single pull. So every single trash pull we're doing is 3 minutes. And we're dying constantly. People are dying constantly. It's like, dude, we have 2 stuns, okay? We have 2 battle reses. Just fucking go balls to the wall and the trash will die. But nobody, like, look at this. What are you do? How are you doing that little damage as enhanced? I just don't even know. I just don't know. But anyway, yeah. So you're gonna see a lot of Blood's strengths here. I'm really surprised with the damage Blood is doing. Like I'm pretty undergeared, to be honest. Like I said, I don't even have the 3rd relic slot, so that's gonna be a huge DPS bonus when you get that. They did, since I recorded this, they nerfed tank damage across the board by 10%. So that would be a good 30-some K lost. You know, of course, all the spells combined, probably more. So maybe like down to 50K, depending. But regardless, you know, it's needed. First of all, let's say that like 100%, definitely needed. Tanks were doing way too much damage. And I'm not just talking about on AoE, single target as well. It felt that way. There's a lot of situations where tanks would be very close to the top, if not the top. And I saw a thread the other day. Somebody's like, oh, yeah, great. So they just nerf tanks instead of punishing damage dealers who are bad. But it's not true. It's just not like yes, damage dealers are bad. There's no doubt about it. If you're losing to a tank even prior, there's no doubt about that you are not playing to your maximum potential. But now this guy's like up here. I don't even, these fucking people. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know, but I don't believe that. I think the tanks were simply overtuned. I've been saying this since the beta as well, actually since the alpha. When I was doing dungeons with my buddies on the alpha and the beta and shit, I was the top damage on every single pull, including bosses. And that was in a situation where tanks were definitely overtuned, but damage dealers were undertuned. They fixed that. They fixed that 100%. Now all damage dealers are doing really nice damage and dying constantly, apparently. So I just don't know. I don't know what's killing people. I don't know what's even happening here. But it's just like, if we just actually did things, like if we stunned things and popped CDs, none of this would matter. But that just doesn't seem to happen in pugs. So I totally reconcile with the fact that you guys said that, you know, as a healer, there's no time to actually damage. And now that I've seen it from, you know, the shoe being on the other foot here as a tank, I can kind of sympathize with that. Like, I feel bad for this guy because he's been thrust into the situation where these people are like beyond help, essentially. Like, there's literally, these guys are just getting one shot, and I don't know what it is that's one shotting them, but I've done this dungeon many times now on Mythic. This would be the 4th time I've done it. Only the 1st time on my DK, but the other 3 times I did it with a guild group, right? Group of people that I know. These were complete pugs. I've never met any single one of these people. And when I did it with the people I know, we did not die. We did not get one shot by anything in any of this dungeon. This is the easiest dungeon, and this is why I started with this on my DK, because I knew that this was the easiest dungeon for me. And it just kind of proved to not be true for some reason. We spent over an hour in here, and I have to say it is entirely because of the group. Like, the dungeon itself, to me, poses no threat. But, like, when you see this, like, is the Warlock AFK right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just absurd. It's absurdity. It really is just absurdity. And I don't know what else to say about it. Like, when the group is this inattentive and poorly maximized, these dungeons look impossible. And the scariest part about this is we got a lot more fucking dungeons to go. We got Mythic Plus coming out on Tuesday, and it's not going to really even be properly incentivized until the following week. And then we still have Karazhan, right? So it's like, oh my god. So now watch this here. So I was like, all right, we got to wait on Dancing Rune Weapon. Make sure you lust on the pull. I'm typing that out right now. Make sure you lust on the pull. Guess what does not happen, guys? Yeah, guess what does not happen? And it's also not even just a brain fart or something like that. It's fucking intentional. Watch. You got to watch this fight, man. You got to watch. This is like a 6-minute encounter. Watch this shit. It's like a fucking raid boss. Watch how we do this fight. It's absurd. All right, Dancing Rune Weapon comes up. You see that weak ore there. I'll probably do a video on the weak ores on my DK as well, if you guys are interested in that. I'll show you guys why, where, and when I use them. But anyway, there's that. Boss pulled here. Nice high burst from the Blood DK, which, yeah, really not even prepared for burst. Like, once I have proper gear and the right golden traits, it's going to be insane. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, this is a fight that I think is very straightforward. You see the damage there. Warlock, fucking pitiful, but otherwise, everything's decent. You know, it's good enough. And this is without Lust. And I'm staring at the number here. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not doing very much damage for Lust. Like, usually with Lust, like, basically any tank with Lust is just God mode. They are so, like, haste is so dependent. They're so haste dependent that it's just crazy. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing very much damage. I'm not getting good bone like blood shields and all that. Oh, because we didn't fucking Lust. So I was like, whatever, we'll just not use it here. It's no big deal. We don't really need Lust, you know what I mean? It's still gonna die easily. And so I gripped these ads together. If you guys aren't aware, like the achievement for this boss is to not kill the ads, which I think is like, I don't know why you wouldn't kill the. I don't know why you would kill the ads. They basically don't do anything. But as you see, Mr. Enhancement Shaman is just fucking every one of his globals is attacking the ads. So that's fine. Take it the slow route. You know why? Don't worry about the boss's health. Now, if we lusted on the pull, like, I think this is timer based, because when I did this with the guild group, we wouldn't even have these ads. Like, that's how we got the achievement. They didn't even fucking spawn. He didn't even go, or she or whatever, didn't even go into this phase. The boss literally died before this phase began. And I assume, you know, of course, I was doing like 250k as a Holy Paladin, but I assume that's just because we had such high damage that you pushed it so fast and it didn't transition. But now, as you see here, I mean, this is just like a 5-minute pull. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to see a boss fight this long, and I really can't even. It's just shocking to me. So there's the Lust. Oh boy, here we go. What a fucking god. Lust. And to watch how much time we have left on Lust when this fucking boss dies. This is just insane to me. I can't get enough of it, man. The fucking boss dies in like 15 seconds. And we have like 15 seconds left of Lust. It's like, dude. And somebody dies too. It's like, wow, what the. Oh, dude, this is just priceless. Look at how much time we have left on Lust. Unfucking believable, man. So then we have the world quest here. Here's another great example. So I haven't done this world quest on live yet, but I remember it from the beta. He does this like AoE thing, and of course, group is not actually here. What a surprise! Whirl of flame there, so that puts a bunch of fire down on the ground. So if you don't kill him fast enough, this fire becomes a massive fucking issue. So I'm typing out here. We need to stun that cast, but before I get the fucking the typing off. The fucking enhancement shaman just stuns the mob for like literally no reason. The mob is not even doing anything, and he just puts down a fucking cap totem. So it's like, whatever. I should have said it before the poll. I forgot what this trash mob was like, so we'll do it here. So the goal is to stun, like as soon as he starts casting it, to stun it. But I messed up. I didn't have stun available, so you can also grip it. You'll see that happen here. But this is getting out of control already. As you can see, this fucking hallway is almost filled up with fire. If you don't stun him a few times, it's like impossible, because the whole room would be fire. There would be nowhere else to engage him, unless the fire goes away at some point. But I don't know if it does. So there you see what I was looking for there. You know, he only got one patch down, and that's a lot less room taken up. And there's some RNG there as well. Like, if he got that patch, and that's just a random cap totem, it's like, Jesus Christ. But if he got that patch down on the, like, if he threw it back there where there's fire already, then there wouldn't even be fire, you know? So now he's going to do the overwhelming detonation, and then we're going to move, and now watch this. So this is what you can do here. So he's going to start the cast, and then I'm gripping him. He doesn't even, yeah, he puts fire down back there, and it is non-factorial. So that's awesome. I really like that. Of course, these are the tools that I've been talking about with blood over the course of the time I've been covering blood on this channel. Death grip is such an immense, it's just so important. People don't understand how important it actually is. I think they really don't believe it when I say it, or they don't understand it until you see it in action, because it's just the most important ability in 5-mans. And so he gets feared there. That's kind of unfortunate. I have the talent that fears them every once in a while when they're in Death and Decay, but there you see, and there's the fucking beast cap totem. Ah, man, this is crazy. But anyway, there you see, I gripped him before he even threw the fire out that time, so that's even better. But towards the end, he's starting to hit really, 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 really hard. And I don't know if it's like he's enraged, or the longer you fight him, the more damage he does. But at this point, I had to stun there because he's just raping me, and I don't know what's actually going on. But then I think he'll die after this. So this is, this is a world quest. But it's fucking complicated as shit, man. So I tried to grip him there, but he didn't actually get gripped for some reason. It doesn't even matter, though. Like, I just want to stay away from him. That we still got plenty of room. But as you see how much of the room is compromised by that mechanic. So when I did this on the beta, we actually like wiped like 8 times of this, because the whole room would just get covered in fire, and the people I did it with were undergeared. Like, we didn't know what we were doing. So anyway, after a long break, what feels like an hour, we had to wait for somebody to go AFK. We talked about all this stuff. We're back at it, and we're gonna do this trash now. I really like to do this trash like this on all tanks, of course. The Fel Lord dudes with the pikes, they do like a cast that you could try to interrupt. It's actually a really dangerous cast. They like increase their size, and I think it obviously increases our damage as well. But in general, just good AoE is the solver, the problem solver. But we do not have that in this group. We have the tank doing the top AoE on this many mobs. Is always, it's not unexpected, but I don't know. It's just weird to see how little AoE this group has. But yeah, this is actually nothing really too out of the ordinary. But the next boss is really gonna baffle you guys when you see the shit that happens after the next boss, man. It's just the icing on the cake for this run. But in general, I think we got a good look to see at Arms Warrior. I don't really know the difference here. I've seen a lot of people talking about Arms Warrior being like just purely better than Fury. The guy is doing good AoE, so I can't say one way or the other. But the difference I have seen, like I have a good friend of mine who's playing Fury, and they are doing exceptional AoE, like really, really fucking good AoE. And that goes a long way to me. I prefer better. I'd rather see good AoE and mediocre single target. But the difference is single target seems a little bit lower than mediocre. Like, seems like 150k burst at like 840 plus. You know, that's not very good. So I don't know if that's just the individual. I think they've probably taken talents that like supplant their single target for AoE. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I've never played a DPS warrior, but I do like to think about this stuff because, you know, raids are coming out soon. I like to learn the strengths and weaknesses. I've seen a lot of people say that arms is one of the best single target specs in the game right now. Hey, if that's the case, that's cool. We have 2 warriors raiding with us. Neither of them are the individual I spoke about there, but one of them has just gone arms, which I'm surprised at because when we had our guild meeting, he was like, no, I'm staying Fury no matter what. Like, I'm going to tough it out. We'll see what happens. I was like, all right, no big deal. But now he's armed, so I guess it's in that dire of a state. And the other one, he's definitely not going arms. He hates arms, so we'll see. But yeah, so there's good old freaking Sadly Bad moving around instead of just standing there and letting me bounce off it. But this is actually a really interesting encounter. And I don't know like what I could do differently. Obviously, I could have a fucking armor pot. That wouldn't help. You see, I still have the weak aura for the old armor pot. I need to change that. I haven't actually used a potion in this entire expansion yet, so other than health pots. But yeah, so this boss hits really fucking hard. And I don't know what, what the difference is. I guess like ideally, I wouldn't pop all my CDs on the pull. I don't know. I'm just so used to that type of mentality. So I pop Vamp Blood there, and the Brutal Haymaker is, coming up. Get some nice shielding going, but he just kind of eats through that before the Brutal Haymaker even happens. But anyway, Vamp Blood obviously is the end-all be-all for this fucking spec. It's crazy good. The best talent, or the best, well, yeah, there's a talent for it as well. But the talent and the ability together are definitely the best tank CDs in the video game. For dungeons, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, if you ask me. Obviously, not counting Ignore Pain and active mitigations and drown. But you see this now. I'm just getting spanked, and I don't have anything up. So this would probably this would definitely be the time for Dancing Rune Weapon, and then especially if I had Vamp Blood up with that, then I would get a very nice shield coming out of it. But I'm just done. Like, I'm toast here. I don't know what else to do. I even have Vamp Blood up, and I still die. So I don't know. It's crazy. The boss is just like massacring me, and the damage, as you can see, is not very good. So it's a very long encounter once again. Maybe I get hit by that there, though. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. He was hitting me very hard, though. I was scared. Like that. That's one thing that I've noticed about Blood. If you're undergeared, like if you have a command on the encounter, then you're fucking Gucci. But if you don't, you're weak. You're very weak, actually. So anyway, here we go. So I just got a ring. It's a high item level ring, and it's got a tertiary stat on it. But I don't need it. I have better rings. I'm examining them now. So watch the chat. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it. But just you guys can just watch the chat. All right? I would encourage that. So yeah. So now we're going to keep moving. We're going to fight these Night Elf dudes. They're going to get stunned there by the guy, and that's going to be good. Now they're going to jump on random humans, and they're going to try to do damage to them. But yeah, I'm going to grip them. JK, I'm just going to AFK, I guess. I'm not AFK. I'm too busy typing because these people are just unbelievable to me. Like, I just don't even fucking know, man. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just so, I don't know. It's just embarrassing. It really is just fucking weird. It's weird. I honestly, after this, I thought I was getting trolled. I thought this fucking dude was trolling me. Like, from the get-go, when he was like, I'm going to kick this healer, we're going to get a better healer. It's like, dude, that's not going to matter. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That should have been the first indication that this group wasn't going to take over an hour to complete this fucking easy-ass dungeon. But yeah, that's that. So we're coming up to the final boss here. The final boss is also kind of funny. The way I would do the final boss is you don't pop anything until about 3/4 of the way through the fight. The way I like to do it is, you know, the first guy, if you have a small CD, use it. It's like a 1-minute CD or something like that. Use it. He's not part of the fight, obviously, so the faster you get him down, the better. But you don't really need to get him down quick. And then, you know, the main part of the fight starts where you fight the Dreadlord. And at first, the Dreadlord is like super beefed up. He's gonna kill us very easily, and you know he could kill us very easily. But then the guy we just fought intervenes and gives us a health buff, and the damage buff comes with that health buff. So when you get that buff, it's like, it's tempting to say like, oh, let's pop everything. But when you do, you're not going to do anything with it, because then he's like, oh, you guys just popped everything. He's like, you guys just got buffed by this dude. I'm out. So he's out. And then you have Lust up and you're running around in circles. So what do you think happens in this dungeon here? First of all, the fucking Warlock is losing to the Discipline Priest, which is just like, what the fuck? I don't even know, man. I really don't. But anyway, we're almost done. Thank God. At this point, I was ready to eat dinner. I wanted to eat dinner around 6, okay? And it was like 5:30, and we were still on the first boss. And we had wiped to it like 7 times. And I was like, there's no fucking way we're going to be done by 6. Like, it's just no way. But then we replaced the rogue, and we got, a priest who did some damage at least, so things went a little bit quicker. But so here you go. So we're going to get into the Dreadlord phase now. Like I said, I would definitely encourage you guys to hold off on CDs here. He's going to do a lot of damage to us. Oh, JK, fucking guy lusts. So not only does he lust now, but we don't even have the fucking buff yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't even fucking know. It's just baffling to me. It's like, these people don't know the fights. First of all, on the first fight when we were wiping constantly, I was like, dude, that's what I said. I was like, dude, I don't think you guys are ready for Mythics. And the Warlock's like, dude, I've done Mythics before. Well, you're right. My bad. It just fucking solves everything. I forgot. You've done Mythics before. That's fine. So look how we still have time on Lust, even though we lusted at the beginning of the phase when we didn't have the damage buff. Like, it's just retarded. There's no fucking reason to do what we just did. And now people are dying to this, getting hit by it, not dying. That guy gets hit by twice, so he's dead. It's just like, oh my God, this fucking group. So hey, you know what? Anybody in my previous videos who said there's no time to heal, there's no time to do damage while you're healing, I take my hat off and give a little nod to you, because if this is what you've been dealing with, you're fucking right, man. There is no time. There's no fucking time. These guys are hopeless. These guys can't do shit. There's time. I'm not going to say there's not. Like, on the pull of fights, nobody's going to take damage. Transition periods, nobody's going to take damage. Like, right now, nobody's taking damage. So, right now, no matter what, these guys are doing, just fucking DPS. But look at this guy. This guy's, like, running around in circles with this like beetle shit on his head, or whatever it is. It's like locusts. It's just crazy. It's just so, I can't say enough about how beyond. So if we just lusted there, the boss would be dead. Like, there's just so many things that with Mythic Plus is around the corner, guys. You really got to start thinking about shit like this. If this is you, if you're watching this video and you're like getting pissed off because I'm like, making fun of you, or you've been in this situation, it's not a personal insult, guys. It's just a video game. Like, all I want is for you to want to be good. And there's so many ways that people can improve. Like, this group alone could have improved in like 4 or 5 different ways, and none of them did it. Not once. The whole fucking run, an hour and almost 10-minute run. And these people were just content to wipe and be bad and not use CDs on trash and die constantly. So, I don't know. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. First Blood DK video on the channel here on live, and we'll see you guys in the next one.